welcome to the final part of BzG's top 50 comic book movies of all time. My name is Barrett Courtney, and here joined with me is my great co-host and even better friend, my favorite chunky punk, Ricky Baltazan. How you doing today?
I'm ready.
You're ready?
Ready.
For the last month and a half, we've been talking about our top 50 comic book movies of all time. Today's our final part. It's the last Monday we're doing this.
This is it?
We're doing 10 through 1. Let's just go right into it.
Alright.
Number 10, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. This movie is based off a comic book that's about video games that has a kick-ass soundtrack. Just so awesome.
Here's Zelda noises in the back.
Yeah, like him peeing and you hear like the Zelda dungeon, like opening chests and stuff was just great.
So this is Stove's like favorite movie ever.
Yeah. That soundtrack is just so awesome of like the band doing the Battle of the Bands and like Beck writing a couple of those songs.
Every Sex Bob-omb song in that is like solid as fuck.
And it's just a quotable movie. It's like, you better tell that to the cleaning lady on Monday. On Monday? Well, yeah, because she has weekends off, and by then you'll be dust.
She does.
She does. And it's so weird to think that guy played Superman.
Yeah.
It was just like, what? Yeah, the cast, like Michael Cera's at his best in this movie. He totally brings himself out a little bit, and Edgar Wright is just, he's a fucking G.
Yeah. Number 9, X2.
This holds up way better than X1.
Yeah.
Because by this point, they had the technology to actually pull off like the special effects and make them look good.
Yeah.
The Weapon X story is a classic one where they go back and take down Riker and all of this stuff. Solid. And then the whole, like, all of the students starting to turn against each other. Like, who's the flame dude? Pyro, like him starting to turn bad, and then like,
which like you were just waiting for.
But them start to like work together at the end to like take down Riker, but to do it in different ways. And then like Riker's son taking over Professor X at one point was scary. Because like he has the power to just kill everybody.
I love this movie so much. Again, coming from a kid who fucking loves Nightcrawler. Like Nightcrawler's my fucking man. That opening. Oh, I didn't even like imagine like me in the theater, not even expecting it, and then just
yeah.
And then the
Number 8, X-Men First Class. I mean, it proved X-Men could be fun again.
Yeah.
So, like, we were so disappointed with X3. We were so disappointed in Origins Wolverine. Like, this proved, like, this gave us hope. Like, the series could be awesome again, and it was. Like, seeing the young Magneto and Professor X actually be friends in a movie and work together and bring, like, this strike team together. Sort of before, like, Xavier's school for the Gifted or whatever it's called.
Definitely.
Like, being created, like, seeing sort of the beginning of it and, like, seeing Magneto's upbringing fucked up.
Crazy.
Like, we got sort of it in, like, the beginning of X, the first X-Men. But
it was like,
but we got like full detail into this one, and oh man,
was it rough?
That was
Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. Like, you're telling me she has fucking character building? Like, she's an actual character and she can talk?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she can.
Yeah, yeah, because Mystique was totally like abused in like those first 3 movies.
Yeah.
Like they did not use her character whatsoever. So to see Jennifer Lawrence, an actual good actress, and like to use her to bring this character out more was just, it's awesome.
Solid, fucking solid.
And Kevin Bacon was even cool in this movie.
Yeah.
And I don't like Kevin Bacon.
I
but
do not like
Kevin
Bacon.
At one point, he was creepy. I was like, oh Jesus.
My favorite fucking. Okay, before I say that, we actually finally saw the suits. First X-Men suits, like they did it. Like you see, just seeing them all like walk through like the airfield in the suits, and you're just like, like that's what they're fucking supposed to look like. Number 7, Iron Man.
Iron Man will sadly never be this good.
Yeah.
This was the perfect beginning to the MCU, and they're like,
it's so good. They made Iron Man so much more of a likable character for me with the black.
Yeah, and it was just interesting because I never thought of Iron Man as an interesting character, but they revamped it in a way of like how he began was he got kidnapped by terrorists, and in our brain and how we've been raised and what we've been raised through, that clicks with us. And
definitely.
That's something
very relevant.
Yeah, it was relevant and it was scary to us. So it made us want him to win and sort of survive. And They did that in a good way, and good for Robert Downey Jr. for stopping drugs.
Yeah.
Really, and to do this series and
perfect fucking role.
Oh yeah,
perfect
role for him.
Now every time I think Robert Downey Jr., I think
but Tony Stark, oh yeah,
solid. Again, like having like the theme to Iron Man was fucking AC/DC, and like having like Tony Stark be like this huge Black Sabbath fan. Like he's wearing a Black Sabbath shirt in Avengers, and I'm just like,
and Suicidal Tendencies, where he's listening to Suicidal Tendencies in the car, like fixing the car. That was awesome.
That's so like, and from a music standpoint, like I love the way they took this character on,
and
because
the dude from The Big Lebowski playing the villain.
You forget it's him.
You forget it's him. I remember first seeing it and I didn't know it was him. And my dad turned to me and he's like, "That's so dude." And I took it and I was like, "Oh fuck." Number 6, Spider-Man 2.
This movie's hella cool.
People talk shit about sequels, but Spider-Man 2, X2, other stuff,
other twos,
they just prove that sequels aren't always that bad. And Cap 2,
doing it right.
So like, it showcased everything, like the interesting like aspect of Harry and Peter's relationship. Of like, Harry hates Spider-Man, but Harry's friends with Peter, and just how that worked. And then the whole like Doc Ock fight. One of the best fights.
That dude, like, as Doc Ock was more solid than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah, and,
this is the first time Doc Ock was scary to me. Because I always thought, like, Doc Ock's square. Like, I always thought that. And then, like, watching this movie, I'm like, he's fucking scary.
He's scary to me in this and in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics.
Yeah.
Like, but his, like, character development at the end, where he actually, like, when he realizes Spider-Man's Peter, and he, like, seeing the student that he really enjoyed and he connected with, realizing, I fucked up bad, and then he's like, I will not die a monster, and he destroys like what was gonna like take over the city. Like it was just great. And the whole like Mary Jane's getting married, and like it really sucks, but at the end she picks Peter. And she's like she's running through like the streets in her wedding dress, and
as much as I hate Kirsten Dunst,
she's alright.
She's alright.
She's alright in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Spider-Man 3, I was done with it.
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man 2 is the perfect level of Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah. Number 5, The Incredibles.
Okay, we know we cheated here. We know this is not a comic book movie, but this plays so much towards comic book audiences and how it's laid out, and how great of just like a superhero movie it is. We're gonna allow this cheat, and we understand you're gonna be mad at us. Like, what a jip. What cheaters, you know? But you know what? We don't give a fuck.
If you want to get mad, I'll put Catwoman as 5 and see what you say. Let's see. Watch me do that.
Put the Spirit as number 1.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Mm-hmm. The Incredibles was just so awesome, and like just the topic of like a burnt out superhero who's not allowed to be a superhero anymore, like wanting so bad to do that, like that doesn't get brought up as much. And
with like family issues, like it's a whole family of superheroes. Like that's crazy. That's so crazy. The kids like trying to deal with high school.
Violet, like with her boy problems, but also like Dash with like the whole fucking with the teacher.
Yeah,
that part was hilarious.
Favorite scene.
But
you
also
see?
And then like trying to figure out who the villain is, and then it's Jason Lee, which is, you know, fucking awesome. I love Jason Lee. And it's like figuring out it's like the kid that Mr. Incredible like saved at the beginning. Like that was a huge twist.
Jack's funny as fuck.
Jack is the best. Like that sequence was just great. It was like a little side movie if you get the DVD. It was like the babysitter's experience with Jack, and it's just hilarious. I want a sequel to this movie so bad, and I know they announced it, but I don't think they're working on it like at all.
The way I see The Incredibles is the perfect combination of 3 different movies, which is like Disney Pixar, like touch heartfelt movie, great superhero movie, and great spy movie.
Yeah.
When he goes to the island and like that whole sequence in the plane and stuff. Greatest like spy.
I think it's one of Pixar's best. Yeah. Number 4, X-Men: Days of Futures Past. It's the best X-Men movie. All right, it fixed everything, but in like the most subtle way. That's the crazy part is X-Men. Like unlike Iron Man 3 or Iron Man 2, was hurt because it was so focused on like setting up other movies and stuff. And X-Men Days of Future Past like set up these other movies and took out all these other movies while still being able to focus on just itself and just fixed it in like a swipe. That in itself was just an amazing feat. The crossover between the young and old Professor X, seeing them like talk.
The casting was like, the casting for it was perfection. And that scene that you're talking about was like.
The one thing I don't like about this movie is that they cast Peter Dinklage as Trask. Don't cast such an amazing actor if you're barely going to use him. That's my only complaint, is he was barely in that movie, and
he did do like a good job with what they gave him, but it was like
but
still
they didn't
like
give him much.
Yeah.
But also like the Sentinels were terrifying.
Yeah.
Quicksilver was awesome. He was
like,
hilarious.
They knew how to make the Sentinels scary, and dude, that was fucking like scary.
Like the atmosphere of the era of like being in like the 70s was just so good.
It was so well, it's not like we live there, but it seemed like what we think it is, like it's so accurate.
Oh yeah. And like the whole like Quicksilver meeting Magneto is like, hey, my mom had dated a guy who did that. And he has like this face like, and then Magneto's like, oh fuck.
Number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Like this was such a break from like all this regular superhero movies we were getting. It's a great team movie of like each member of the team had like their own moments with each other, and you didn't really get that much in Avengers, and that's why I think Guardians is a way better film than either of the Avengers movies.
Definitely.
But like the humor in it is on point.
The soundtrack again.
Oh, soundtrack is I think the best soundtrack of comic book movies, but just the humor and like where Gamora's like, this place is filthy, and Quill is like, should put this under a black light everywhere. It's like, oh, gross.
The crazy, like, unexpected, perfect casting for Drax as Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
He comes from a WWE background. They can't act. It's perfect for Drax.
Yeah, and who voiced Vin Diesel voices Groot. And I could not think that, you know, a talking plant voiced by Vin Diesel would make me cry, but you know what?
Definitely.
He did.
Yeah.
We are Groot.
What's his face as Rocket Raccoon?
Oh, Bradley Cooper.
That was fucking good. Other than him grabbing his blaster and going, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was a cheesy, dumb line.
Other than that, great.
Yeah. Again, like all of these. The one trouble that Marvel has is their villains just aren't showcased as well.
Yeah.
And the villain in this one was just sort of boring, but again, it was like sort of overcast by like how funny the rest of it was.
Yeah.
So that's why it's at our number 3. You know, it's just mostly on point.
Yeah.
It was new. It was something different, and that's what we needed.
Finally seeing full body Thanos.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was. That's so weird. That just came out like last year.
Yeah.
I feel like it came out like 3 years ago.
I know, same here.
Number 2, The Dark Knight. This movie should be number 1, but whatever. I don't know nothing about that.
Did you have it as your number 1?
I had it as my number 1. Go fuck yourself.
I thought it was your number 2.
No, it was my number 1.
I mean, your number 1.
Like in our final list, combining them, it got bumped down to 2, but the storytelling in this movie is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And the twists and turns of like what Joker does in this, like just the beginning of like taking out like each villain taking like each bad guy taking out each other to get more of the share, and coming out in the school bus, and then like, what do you believe in? And he's like, I believe like whatever doesn't kill you makes you crazier. And that movie is perfection, Ricardo, but also not perfection. I'm overstating a little bit. Like, Batman is a little boring, and I'm just talking about like the character himself.
Yeah.
Like whenever a good friend of ours, Sean Pitts, pointed out to me that when a scene is great in that movie, it's never because of Batman. Because he has very little character growth in this movie. Like the biggest sort of plot device that really affects him is Rachel dying, who was played by Maggie Gyllenhaal, who was way better at Rachel than Katie Holmes. Katie Holmes was so out of place. Maggie Gyllenhaal totally fit in better with the series. And can we just start, like, I don't like Aaron Eckhart that much as an actor, but he fucking nails it as Two-Face. Like, he was so good as Two-Face.
I hate his face. I hate him as an actor, but as Two-Face,
he's really good.
You did it.
He's
you
really
did it. He's fucking passionate as shit.
Yeah, and they made Two-Face work in like sort of a realistic Batman universe. It was weird as fuck.
That's like one of the last characters I thought they'd make work in this.
Yeah, and the dialogue and like what they say, like when Batman finally catches Joker at the end, he was like, "This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object," and like the monologue from Alfred, or talking about like some men want to watch the world burn. And
such a quotable Batman movie.
Like the want to know how I got these scars. And
Heath Ledger, may he rest in peace. Good fucking job. Good fucking
this
job.
movie was so like Heath Ledger's performance made me want to become an actor.
Yep. Number 1, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
This movie is flawless. Like it's so good. Even honest trailers had trouble like making fun of it. Like in their thing, they're like, we can't really find anything to like make fun of it, so we're gonna nitpick it for you, you know? Like, it was an 80s spy thriller, it was a superhero movie, and it mixed well with that superhero formula, and the reason, like, the weakest point of, like, the Marvel movies, like I've said, is the villains and just how lame they are, but there wasn't one central villain. It was sort of Hydra. Like, yeah, there was the Winter Soldier, but he was like, sort of an enemy, but he was being brainwashed, but it was sort of like this like presence of Hydra again, which was like scary, like super scary. That was just like, this is it, and it proved it. Like, you guys doubted me. You doubted me. Captain America's cool.
He's fucking
and
cool.
Y'all can finally see that. And I called it right when Captain America, right when Bucky died. Vinny was upset. Our good friend Vinny Valentine, he was a huge Captain America fan. He's like, that's not how their relationship progresses. That like he died way too early. I was like, Vinny, you know that Captain America 2 is going to be about the Winter Soldier. And if you know me from the Kind of Funny community, you know that was like another Colin was right moment for me. Where when they announced that it was Captain America the Winter Soldier, I was like, boom. I knew what I was thinking. I knew what they were going with this, and just like showcasing their past of like the relationship between Bucky and Cap was just so tragic, and it's like Cap seeing Bucky for the first time. He's like, Bucky? He's like, who? Was just so sad.
And then bringing back like that Captain America love interest though.
Oh yeah, and seeing her with like the what's it called? What's the mental disease where you Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
She had the Alzheimer's, and like when they revealed that to you, it was just tragic.
Yep.
And like knife fights. I hate knife fights, but
I do too.
It makes me cringe. It makes me cringe so much.
It's such a cheap way of like.
Oh, but it was they did it so well in this one, and then you know what? Here's something crazy, Joss Whedon. We brought Black Widow into a movie that wasn't used for just a romantic interest.
Look at that!
Boom!
Look at that!
Boom!
You think Nick Fury dies,
but he doesn't.
But he
just sort of lame.
But it
does something like that.
It did get me like.
You know what? Rachel Dawes actually died in The Dark Knight. Okay.
Good.
Even though she wasn't a character from the comics, but whatever.
Good.
But yeah, and then he comes back, and then like the name drop of Stephen Strange, that in itself was just like, ah!
Yeah.
Falcon was cool. I really like the guy they got as Falcon.
Him and his gap tooth. I love it.
This is just a solid. It doesn't try to be like really dark or anything. This is the one movie where I feel like I'm reading a comic. I feel like I'm reading a good quality comic right now.
Solid.
Thank you so much for joining us for the 5 different parts of our top 50 comic book movies of all time. Number 1 being Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. What did you think of our list? You can leave it in the comments below. You can, if you liked our list, you can also like that like button below and subscribe and see what else we're doing here at BzG. Share with your friends. Show them this amazing list that we came up with. And if you have any suggestions of what you want us to do here at BzG, you can always tweet at us at baiazonagamers. You can tweet at me at BananaLechong. Ricky here doesn't have a Twitter, but if you don't have a Twitter like Ricky, you can also email us at baiazonagamers@gmail.com. That's for any sort of inquiries. If you like any of the stuff that we like, any of the stuff that we do, have any suggestions, just hit us up there. all that good stuff. This was our final part. Oh man, this was tiring.
You're
seeing this in parts, but we did all of this in one day.
I'm over it already. I don't care. I'm done.
So thank you for joining us for our mini series of top 50 comic book movies of all time. Again, my name is Barrett Courtney. I am your host. Here's Ricky Baldasson. He's my co-host. And until next time, when you see our other shows, have a great day full of amazing comic book movies like Captain America, the Winter Soldier,
like Catwoman,
Dark Knight, and and Catwoman. Oh Jesus, that movie was terrible. To BzG's now. Hello and welcome to BzG's top 50 comic book movies of all time. We broke it up. No, fuck.
You got it.
Hello and welcome to the final part of BzG's top 50 comic book movies of all time.